Is Beanie going to be playing against? That is the next question that we're going to answer as we're watching our second match of the day, C-Rams versus Hypxr. And this is going to be a good match, I think. So we just saw C-Rams a couple of weeks ago. If you look at match B2 over there, we saw C-Rams versus Bryce, which broke the record for the longest overtime in competitive Spy Party history with a final result of 39-37. What was that match like to cast? Because you were there.
Yeah, we were both there. It was actually insane because there's a part of me that if I didn't watch the games and I see a result that is that statistically unlikely, I'm like, were they trying to make it last long? Like, what was the decision making process that could lead to it? Like, maybe there was something about, like, I never crossed my mind that they would like match fixing because that doesn't seem like either of those players, but rather like, were they doing something that just kind of would lead it to trading wins? And it did not feel like that. It was just a crazy set. Each time, either a player would just play up, like they would turn something on because they did not want the set to end that way, or there would be a crazy circumstance that would extend the set. Even the regular part of the set, there was a crazy beginning that could have stopped the whole thing from going into overtime to begin with, because there were a couple just wild games that could have gone either way. It was an absolutely insane set that was high quality the entire time. The beginning was super, super sniper heavy, and then it became more of just an everything show after that because their snipers just got tired. So really high quality set, really surprising set, and really just showed a lot of the longevity of both of those players, and especially going into that C-Rams from that last set.
Yeah. And so if you look at CRAM stats during the regular season, it's actually not necessarily surprising that CRAMs is someone who might have a set that goes into that many overtimes because CRAMs had 88% sniper win rate, but one of the lowest spy win rates. So it actually sort of makes sense, if you have someone like this who just wins all their sniper games, but then isn't able to take a lead by winning as spy as well. And so it looks like we got some news from Nebula, the tournament organizer, that I don't know how to say this, but the match between C-Rams and Hypxr, basically, it initially went the same way. This is what we're being told. C-Rams and Hypxr played their match, and it went into overtime, and it went into almost 40 games of overtime before the players were not able to keep playing. They messaged Nebula and they said, "Can we postpone this? Can we put an end to it now? And can we play again on another day?" That's what we're being told happened here. And so C-Rams versus Hypxr, after nearly 40 games of overtime, they paused their match. They came back to it another day, and that's the match that we're going to be seeing today. They restarted their match from the beginning.
Yes, it's an absolute insane scenario. I think that if we hadn't just cast like 80 games of Spy Party with C-Rams in it, we probably would have cast the first set as well and then had like a break. But it's just like, I think that Nebula was just worn out from that. So I do hope that gets like a side cast, something like that, or side analysis, because I'm sure that set is also pretty wild. The other really strangely timed thing is that Hyper and C-Rams are also paired in Winter Cup. So before this set, they also played their Winter Cup set. I don't know if that Winter Cup set is going to get cast, so I won't say what the result was, but it was another close one. So everything is pointing to these players being extremely evenly matched. They are just playing each other a lot. They should have a very good read on each other by this point. So what we won't see is a bunch of these players facing off for the first time, understanding each other. We are going to be jumping into a position where these players have played for 40 games over time plus at least like a 12 game set. So like 52 games. So these players have played a lot. They're recent. If we see mind games, that is what the explanation is for that.
Yeah, and these are both really strong players. Like I said, CRAM's sniper win rate, one of the highest or maybe the highest in the entire regular season. Granted, not in, diamond or platinum, but still very impressive. And Hypxr just won bronze division decisively. Just did really well there. Hypxr in bronze won 6 games and tied 1 game, and the one tie was to yourself, right?
Yeah, and honestly, that probably should have gone the other way. I was very worried about playing Hypixer, so I'm pretty happy with that one. And that is even before they're getting better, because they're a newer player, and each time they play, they are jumping up in skill level, so they are gonna be a really tough opponent, especially from. And I will say this, like I felt good about my position in bronze, where I know that being a more experienced player dropping in there, it looked pretty good for me. But then as soon as I started prepping on these players and watching them play, it's like, oh no, these are a bunch of people that are really strong in this division. Just a bunch of names. Honestly, I would not be. I would not take bronze in a matchup between several different divisions because it was just really high quality play. So really fabulous play, and also importantly, Hyper's spy is getting more polished. He's got an extremely thoughtful spy, and the more it gets polished, the more I expect it to challenge CRAM's excellent sniper, as you were saying.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, by the way, for the championship here, the higher seeds got to pick who their opponent was. So Hypixer was one of the lower seeds, and no one picked him. He was the last pick. No one wanted to play against Hypixer. Yosh was unfortunately stuck with it, and Hypixer beat Yosh 10-2. And Yosh was at the top of silver, but Hypixer, top of bronze, just took out that win. But only one of CRAM's and Hypixer will be making it to the finals. I can confirm we are going to see a decisive result here within maybe not the hour, within an hour and a half or so. We are going to see a decisive result and know which of them is making it to the finals. So, looking at the draft here, we're going to be seeing a lot of sniper sided venues. Again, this is just where CRAM's feels the most comfortable. Modern, Courtyard, Veranda, probably on Library as well, even though Hypixer picked that one. If we get to the end of the match, though, we will be seeing some occlusion venues.
Yeah, and importantly, the two venues we will not see no matter what are Redwoods and Balcony, because I think the restricts do come back in to the pool, but it's actually not a bad idea because previously, like if you're playing CRAMs, you know that they're not going to pick Balcony and you won't ban it. I believe that this ban actually is a way to, in case they do go to OT, they don't have to worry about the balcony games because that is something that was in the previous set where CRAMs and Bryce were playing. Is they kind of just ignored the balcony games because they were like, this is a trash venue that neither of us wanted to play. And that, sure, there's a fairness in there. I do think it subtracts from those particular games in that one, but they had plenty, so the record is still very safe. Also hilarious that it went to like 40 games because that would be on its own would have been that would have beaten the old record for OT. So again, it's just such an insane stretch of OTs and craziness here. What a wild set to begin.
All right, let's get into it. We have CRAMs spying first, playing as Kane on Library. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And so just looking at the record of these two players versus each other, we can expect to see a lot of sniper wins. But like I said, we are going to see a decisive result today. Someone is going to get the lead at some point. I can confirm that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm mostly just kind of like settling like what are the difference between this and uh the when we started like because this feels like it's starting in OT almost, right? Because we have players that have played each other a lot, but it's going to be in the normal things where it doesn't just it's not going to end if one player gets 2 wins. So there is flexibility, of course, that's different from the OT. But also they're going to be fresh, right? And they will have had to do mid-match prep, so to speak, because they delayed it. That's always the kind of thing where I know that neither of the players wanted to delay it because it kind of throws off a little bit of it throws a wrench into what could happen, right? Because then the players they get rest, they get prep, they might come up with specific strategies based on it that they might not be able to come up with in the moment So
And
I'm
mana
just
bread.
very fascinated here, especially if they have scripts or something like that ready to go for some of these venues.
Yep. So C-Rams hits a green purloin, goes for a contact as the purloin is coming off. Doesn't look like Hypxr is onto it, as I'm seeing random sniper flashes onto people who are very much not us.
Yeah, and that's interesting that Hypixer's doing it because we saw you remember in the Bryce CRAMs is they would flash when they would not flash on the spy, but they would flash when they were really starting to feel confirmation around it, right? So it seems like they're already adopting that at this point because they did less of that early on, but they flashed more and more later. So we'll see lots of communication to the cast, so to speak, from these players. There's lots of nods and lots of flashes, which is great because it gives us an indication of where their headspace is at.
Yeah, and like they're not always going to flash directly onto the spy because then it kind of maybe lets the spy know that your laser is on them. So they might flash at someone nearby. But in this case, whatever flash happened earlier, it was on the opposite side of the venue from us. So I don't know if Hypixer is onto this purloin, but we do still need to get 3 more missions done. Notably, we have 0% on our flirt. Even though we started with the time ad, we haven't gotten any flirt done in that time. Now, I thought the flash might have been on Irish, our seduction target, but she has become a low light now. So don't know what's up with that. A highlight here on us and Sick in this convo, potentially just tracking flirt pairing. And if that's the case, then good for us because we're not going to go near Sick again. Unless we happen to accidentally go near him again without realizing it, in which case it could be a problem. But we're finally just going to pick up the first flirt here with Irish at the blue bookcase. Action test red, we failed it. Were we trying to... I was like, are we trying to make her break her animation and put the book in too soon? But no, C-Rams literally responds to me, shakes his camera. No, that's not it. I'm just not happy. I did not want that to red flirt. But we do put the book away in the wrong bookcase. That gets the microfilm done. Sniper is flashing their laser, God knows where, somewhere that is still not us as we complete microfilm. So it's like, it's looking good for C-Rams, but the party is very narrowed down and we are still a highlight. So it's possible we could still get shot. And we do. Okay. What were the sniper flashes for us? I didn't think they were.
I didn't think so either, but I kind of almost want to go back and see what possibly could have been the flashes, but I also don't want to tempt making these games longer because who knows if they'll be done in like 5 or whatever hours. Uh, uh, the fact that there were flashes and a shot later just makes me feel good about that, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what these players are looking for already because again, they already know each other so well, even though it doesn't feel like it because we've just started.
Yeah, okay. Well, Hypixr going to be spying, playing as Teal now in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, we're starting off on the side here. We're not going to
Oh,
call
we're
the
getting
retreat.
we're getting some information here that the highlight in the last game, when we were in conversation with Sick over there on the left, we had a no talk in the conversation. The sniper noticed that no one in the conversation was talking, which is illegal. So apparently it was narrowed down to 2 suspects. Oh God, oh God, we just picked up that statue and swapped it and walked right back into convo. Was that like right on screen?
It was right on screen, but Queen's gonna take it from a middle inspect. We have a tilt. We have a big tilt coming off here. But now the question is were we seen or is this a tilt for a statue to statue? You know?
The only reason you're tilting that much is because you noticed that someone was there earlier, right? Now,
He's
can you
hiding.
find Teal? Yeah, we're
We can't
hiding
find
behind
Tim.
a
We get lowlights.
pillar.
We get lowlit because we're just clicking. We're just spamming lowlights. We
Oh my
literally
God.
get lowlit because we're hiding behind this pier. Holy shit, that's amazing. I
Yeah, but
love
he's
that.
gonna notice. He's gonna notice.
Is
Look,
he?
he's trying
Is he?
to. Yeah, he's trying to
Oh
bring us
no!
back up.
Wait, lame. Oh my god, that would have been so good. So we did actually remember to go find Teal later. So we're so dead because this is such an interesting spot to get. Oh man, I'm so sad. That would have been so fun if we
It would
had
have been
somehow
funny,
got a
but you
low
have to
light.
remember that if he was zooming in on the statue, it's because he knows Teal was there. It's not like he's gonna forget that just because she became a low light, but it is really funny.
Oh my God. If that had been later in the game, there might have been some literal panic from C-Ram's side, just because like we're trying to find out where this person is, right? I guess we would have been checking pillar and whatnot. So we are probably dead because if the fact that we got caught behind pillar, although by the time that we got brought back up to a highlight, we weren't pillar hiding. We were just in a occluded spot of conversation. Um, so the other thing that is beneficial to Hyper here is that there was a lot of laser play near us. So we do have an indication that we are one of the top suspects. And I think a timeout is like a real legitimate strategy for us here. Because sometimes if you think you might have just gotten away with it entirely, you might want to play it out. But your actual best bet is to hope that Queen does something, which, by the way, Queen is not doing anything for us here.
Yeah, so 2 minutes left on the clock. Welcome, everyone. We are playing Dead Woman Walking Simulator. This is a game where you walk around and stand around in conversation for 2 minutes, at which point you lose the game. That's what's happening here. Do you want to bug the ambassador? I mean, he's right there. God, you could just leave this conversation and like you could bug him. It seems like a pretty good bug if the party wasn't narrowed down to only two people. By the way, the library does have a right side of the venue. You might not know that from the sniper camera right now. It kind of looks like the sniper camera is like locked in place, but there is a whole right side of the venue. But we don't need to watch it. We don't need to watch it because the only two suspects are here on the left side, and neither of them are moving. So Queen does nothing, Teal does nothing, Sniper does nothing. Minute left on the clock. How much more nothing is going to happen?
Yeah, this is gonna be rough. We're also this path is. Oh, this looks like it's a. It looks like Queen is our seduction target. I think from our perspective here, or something like that. So at least there is gonna be the split. So this is gonna tell Hyper something. There's somebody such a zoom on that tray. There's somebody else in consideration here. So this is real also. Like I do think that C-Rams of the two is more worried about Teal than the two of them. Now, if this wasn't a five mission venue, oh, known fake also between them. So right now, Seagrams is pretending to look around in low light and stuff like that. It's just gonna be a timeout. So it's unfortunate that it's a five mission venue because maybe somehow we shoot Queen, but there's like no way, no reason for Seagrams to shoot Queen, even if we thought that bug, for example, had happened.
Oh, we're requesting a drink. Queen's taking. Is she gonna purloin? Are we gonna purloin? There's 10 seconds left. I can't even pretend that there's any hype around this. And oh my God, an animation break dancing. Yeah, maybe he'll shoot sick if you like. Yeah, no. Okay. I'm ready for the next game. I don't think there's anything to talk about on that one. I think we wasted enough time as it is. Let's move on to Modern. It's C-Rams playing as a twin, starting right next to the other twin in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And after all that, though, the scoreline is just 1-1.
Book rip, book rip. But Hyper is aware of these and is keeping us on screen. I think that Hyper is and kind of intentionally keeping us. Oh no, actually not intentionally keeping us like just out of sniper scope range. But I
Yeah, I
feel
think
like
if you
Hyper's
caught
on
that, you
this.
just shoot. So we weren't shot. That probably means we got away with it.
It's but Hyper is like the reason why I am like I it feels like Hyper should catch these is Bronze just did these nonstop. Hyper had to have seen these nonstop because AJ will do these all the times, Bryce will do these all these times, Eric Gory will do these all the time. I'm like the only player who doesn't do this all the time. By accident will do these all the time.
But the question is, does
Even Matt will do
C-Rams
this
do it
all
all
these
the
time.
time?
That's
Because
true.
I don't think C-Rams usually goes for such bold plays like that.
Let's see. We did see a flash, by the way. So very curious about what's going on there. But also big moment about whether or not we see this. Like, okay, we do see a routine highlight on this one. So it very well could have been clean, and that would actually be a huge get for C Rams because again, there wasn't so much happening. There was a lot of movement, but there wasn't a lot of threat at the same time. Hyper could have had control of the party over Ambassador's location, no Toby cheese and no swap cheeses, that it would have been nothing going there. Two interesting little lowlights around the bench, the back of the couch, looked like a collision pair of lowlights, and feeling good and confident about taking those lowlights versus C-Rams at least, which would not be a bad pickup from the Bryce versus C-Rams set, is that there was some etiquette to be picked up from that set. So if Hyper really drilled down on those, might be able to find a window of exploitation on some of that tendency.
Yeah, so I think we got away with the microfilm clean. I could be wrong about it, but I think we got away with it. The problem is we've had very little flirt progress, and so the rest of our game plan is just going to be very by the books. We got some statue progress earlier. We're going to go finish it now. You usually won't get shot just for inspect, contact, and flirt if the sniper hasn't seen your fourth mission. But if you have to be really obvious about chasing down your seduction target or the double agent, you could still get shot. Luckily, we hit a green flirt as we enter the conversation here, so we won't have to chase Kane around too much. But with 90 seconds left, if Kane leaves and goes to a mission site or something, we might not be able to finish the flirt. The double agent is over there. So the question is, are we just going to wait here to time out the rest of the flirt, or are we going to go for the contact? And honestly, I think going for the contact might be the better move, because if that double agent leaves convo and doesn't return, you could get completely screwed later. Whereas Kane, you could probably always go flirt with him anywhere. But it looks like we're just waiting for the flirt timer to run down. And at that point, we'll have less than a minute to get the contact. Orange, sorry, is just waiting in convo there. We're finally going to get the flirt. I'm just going to have to go get the contact now.
Yeah, and there was a significant moment where Ambassador passed back behind us, where it looked like we could have gone for a reverse bug, and Hyper didn't seem to be guarding us for that. So that's the best indication I've seen so far that we really have gotten away with that transfer, and also haven't been picked up for something else here. So it does look like it is going to be a mission win here, because we did not pick up that, and we're not even really in the running for a shot.
Yeah. And thank God we did it the moment we did, because Sari just left right afterwards, and who knows where she would have ended up. But we just weren't a suspect, so we got away with that. And it just comes down to the microfilm from the start of the game. So yeah, I mean, good bold play from C-Rams there, just immediately redirecting to the shelf and ripping that book out. Just got away with it, and gets the spy win on Modern, which is good, because C-Rams could very easily win the sniper game here and take a lead in the set. And that could be the lead that gets him the win if they keep trading sniper wins like they usually do. So Hypxr spying as Irish, green dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it. If C-Rams holds on to the sniper game here, I think he'll become the favorite to win. Just because even just getting a small lead like that can be enough with these two players who trade sniper wins back and forth a lot.
Yeah, and like you're saying, there's not a lot of slack in the draft for there to be easily identifiable spots for there to be a swing, right? Oh, a nice little bug in here. It was in motion too. I think we have actually got away with that clean, except for just knowing the opportunity. But just on the way that C Rams's laser was, oh well, we do get a long flash. So maybe there's something more happening on that, but maybe also.
Yeah, but what do the
just flashing
flashes
random
mean? I don't know what the flashes mean anymore. I can't. I don't understand this language. But I mean, the bug looked clean to me, just because it was a nice standing bug at a moment where I think the sniper just was trying to get a hold on the party early on. Like, I don't think they were staring the ambassador down for that bug, so it felt like we could have gotten away with it. But I don't know if the laser is flashing. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and we do need to still pick up something else, because like as much as that bug was great, we didn't pick up any flirt credit from being on that side of the venue. Where there's some more flashes on here, but again, like what does it mean? Because unless they did catch the bug, it is meaningless. But why are you flashing again? I guess it's just to confirm. We haven't done anything dispositive.
Flash on Seek on Smallman. What?
Okay. Are we false pairing? Well, that might be it actually could be the flashes. Sometimes there's early flashes when there is a delegate and you're saying like I am saying that I know a delegate happened. And so when the drink take happens and there's not a delegate on Smallman, I think that's gonna be a big moment in here. So that could cause us to reconsider. We're near Ambassador again, by the way. So I'm curious to see how much we seem to be guarding Ambassador as they're going to leave. They kind of do the exact same thing. They leave from the exact same position and swing over. Um, so this is interesting because normally flashes are bad signals for the spy here, but I really don't see what would have prompted the follow-up flashes from anything that we've done, which means that we might have a bad read on an AI.
Exactly. CRAMs might be getting overconfident here, and we're just at the start of the set. I don't know if you've earned that level of confidence yet. Ooh, Hypxr has a little bit of trouble walking out of conversation there. I'm just worried though, because like we don't have that much flirt. There's 90 seconds left. We're still gonna have a contact. Hypxr might just get away with the win. Oh God, we're pretending to put it back in green, and then we just walk over to blue. Oh God, it's so obvious. It's so on screen. It's shot. Even though we got away with the bug. We didn't need to go for such a bold play when we got away with the bug. And CRAM's, whatever that overconfidence was with the flashes elsewhere, he's not punished for it at all.
Yeah, because like it really did seem like so like just for action test microfilms, it did not seem like we were guarding Irish super hard, even though we could have because Ambassador was pretty safe. Like we were pivoting around a little bit. It seems like we were checking boot statue, just making sure that wasn't happen, more than we were actually really trying to look at Irish. If we had just walked away with that book, which I don't mind faking put back and walking away, if we walked away with the book and then didn't try to do the quick dump on the walk through, and we just like walked away with it and just kind of like kept it at our side and we walked into another conversation circle, I feel like that might have worked better. But there's just like so much stuttering you have to do by you stop, you go to the book quickly, you dump it in there really quickly, and then you move again quickly. That there's too many motions in there that CRAMs could check.
Yeah, it just becomes really noticeable, and it felt like CRAMs was just kind of given that win there. I don't think they were on to us, but our behavior was just impossible to miss at that point. So CRAMs does end up taking the sniper win there. CRAMs is up 3-1 now. CRAMs going to be spying as Teal in 3-2-1, playing it. CRAM's goal now for the rest of the set is just to keep a lockdown on sniper, which he usually does very, very well. But looking at the history of these two players, it's possible that Hypxr could pick up a sweep of a venue at some point, and they could go back to being tied in scoreline. So we'll see what happens. But so far, CRAMs in this game just hanging out in conversation with absolutely nothing here.
Yeah, we do have a bunch of inspectors at the beginning of this one. Right now, I'll note that there's not a highlight on pearls at the front set of statues yet. There it is. They had an amazing path that would super AI-like, but it was so early that spies could still be under AI control. So even though it's something that I might have like reflexively low lit for, I would actually have reconsidered, being like, wait, they could have just been under AI control. So that's a big moment in there because now there are what like 4 inspectors I think that are out there very early on. A lot of those will convert. At least like 2 of them will probably convert into full inspects, which will be a really big moment for CRAMs.
Yeah, so we're going to the bar. It looks like Wheels entered convo next to us with a drink, so it's possible that we're going to try and frame him. But again, frames on Modern don't necessarily always work because then you would need Wheels to go do, 3 more missions other than the Purloin. Are we going to take? No, we're just picking up the delegate option for ourselves. It's not a bad choice. There's just been a lot of people at the bar, just a steady stream of bar visitors, so it could be tough for Hypixer to track it all.
Yeah, and I can't remember who was at front side statue, if it was Sikh or if it was Sari or Irish, but I think Irish just already converted into finishing in specs, and so Irish is going to be a big play in here. The thing though is, as active as statues have been, and microfilm currently is with under threat with Wheels, we're going to be keeping a close eye on him. Ambassador is not doing anything and is in a really clean position that's easy to guard, and also like has a death grip on this briefcase, so they're not even dropping fingerprints. So as much as there is this statue opening for a lot of people, I am actually still worried for CRAMs a bit because Ambassador's been so static.
Yeah, and we just have no mission progress. So at this point, maybe the plan is to frame someone. The delegate purloin timer has expired. Maybe we're just going to keep tracking who's going to statues and who's doing things and try to send off a purloin to them at some point. But like you said, this ambassador, my God, he's just not moving. He's doing nothing. Even if Wheels walks by him there, like it's obvious that Wheels didn't take a bug, didn't take anything. I mean, we're just gonna time out, probably. We're setting ourselves up with the option to delegate a purloin to someone else at some point. It could be Irish if she has the statues done. You know, she is walking around now. Maybe she's gonna go do something that makes her look like the spy if we, contact for her right now or something. But I think we're just keeping our eyes out for a frame target, and a frame target is not gonna materialize.
Yeah, like Checker used to talk about making this like high frequency noise thing that makes shark move on aquarium to stop shark cheese. I feel like we need that high pitch frequency to make ambassador move. Like you get Spy gets like once per game. We send a delegate off to Boots. You get like once per game. You can send out this like high pitch frequency that only ambassador can hear, and it freaks him out, and makes him move. But
Safety
there's a
off.
flash on Queen who is finishing in specs.
Yeah,
So
that's not a
again,
flash for us. There's no
that is
chance. So
exactly. Right, exactly. What would the Flash 4 be? There's no mission progress. This is a full committed timeout. The Purloin does occur, by the way, during this minutes. There's also a Banana Bread at the same time. 10 seconds. This is a lot of pressure, but also it's so confusing that I don't. What? What?
wow, you're really that on top of it against someone who hadn't done anything all game. I figured you were panicking. I figured you were wondering, like, wait, did Queen ever go to the bar? Is there any chance? Who's doing a contact? No, apparently you were just super on top of that purloin and just waited exactly, 10 seconds and just, okay, good, well done.
It's a very impressive shot because I do think that the flash was genuine on Queen. That makes that shot even more impressive. Is that it's not that we tunneled, I think, on Teal that game. It's that we were just aware of all the possibilities at the same time, and then when one of them didn't pan out as worrying, like there wasn't a swap for Queen, there wasn't something that made us worry about someone else's mission count, that we were still on top of the purloin. So just an extremely fabulous shot there. Even if they could have just, if they had the mission count, they didn't need to shoot.
Yeah, really well done. Well, if Hypxr can keep up playing like that, he could bring the scoreline back. It's going to be Hypxr playing as Disney as Spy now in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Obviously, getting a spy win is harder than getting a sniper win, but I just think that Hypixer's mindset seems really good. His nerves must be really under control to be able to take a shot like that, compared to C-Rams, who was, flashing on random people as well. I don't know. Hypixer could be able to bring it back if he stays calm under pressure like this.
Oh, absolutely. It just takes one because like it there's like a feeling that you have is like let's say if I could like choose to be I'm gonna drop a set at some point versus a player, like I'm gonna be down 2 games at some point during a set. Would I want that to happen earlier or later if I knew that by a certain point it was just going to be that case, right? Where, of course, I'd rather be early in the set because then I have a chance to come back. But there's something to being like, just like, okay, it's one drop, and I just have to keep staying in here. The important thing is for me to keep the gap as low as possible and try to find wins here and there. But you're right that even if we don't find it here, the fact that we are playing really well, we don't feel like we're under a ton of pressure, we're aware of the opportunities. That's a great indication that, again, we are in for a really great match.
Yeah, and so this party's been really active from the start. So Hypixer's just going to go join a bar rush here. There's a lot of people still at the bar, even as we're doing this. So I think even if we send the delegate off, it'll be really hard for C-Rams to know exactly who did it. Of course, we are going to maybe send it off to our seduction target. We don't stand close enough, so it's a 99% flirt. And I don't understand. Like, are you worried that if you stand too close, you'll be flirt paired? But you're still still really, really close to him, so you don't even get that benefit. Ooh, we just walk into conversation though and just immediately send it off to the suspected double agent, and then we leave. So if the sniper doesn't see that, you can get away with it and get a purloin off really clean. The problem is, even if the
Great swap.
sniper's not tracking it, oh God, we're swapping a statue at the same time. The SDA has taken the guest list. For some reason, we got brought back down to a neutral light, even though it was not at all time to bring down
And
the
red.
bar highlights. We get a contact as well. And if the flirt was at 100%, we would be done right now, but it's at 99%, so we're not. Good news is the sniper hasn't shot. Bad news is they've shot now. And if we had the flirt done, would that have been within 10 seconds? If we had the flirt done.
Statue, technically, yes. Statue was swapped at 52, shot, it finished at 43, so it was within half a second. So
Okay, so it wouldn't have
within a
mattered.
half a second, yes. But still,
Okay.
of course, like it. But then maybe we hide though. Like if we didn't need the flirt, we might have made ourselves half a second harder to shoot. Because we were out in the middle of like easy to shoot land because we were going for that last second flirt. But if we already had that flirt, we might have tucked ourselves behind a conversation circle or something like that just to get that little bit of extra time. So still, absolutely could have been all on that flirt there.
Yeah, you're right. We could have like gone and hid, I don't know, behind Damon, behind Sick there. Sick is pretty tall. He was right near us. So it's possible that if we had the flirt, we could have won that. But wow, I mean, that nearly worked from Hypxr, and C-Rams just ended up being completely on top of it. Really, really well done to process that many missions being done at that quick of a pace. So, okay, C-Rams holds on to the lead with that sniper win, and he was really challenged. He was really challenged there, and he held on with his sniper. So, C-Rams maintains the lead, playing as general now in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Probably feels a little bit demoralizing for Hypxr there because it really felt like you were maybe going to get away with it. 8 seconds after the swap, still not shot, and then the bullet came off anyway. So C-Rams, I think, has the momentum here. He's had some really good wins here on Modern.
Yeah, and even like because we were talking about the 99%, even if seduction target had been in a conversation circle, we would have finished flirt while the swap was still pending. So the 99% only mattered because Small went to statues, and I think that Hyper really didn't want to put themselves at statues, given that they were swapping, because then you might infer that they are finishing in specs at the same time. If it wasn't for the fact that we had shown swap, we might not really consider Inspecs to be a threat, but we just didn't want to put ourselves there. So had Smallman gone anywhere else in the venue, by the way, Action Test microfilm in here, we are invisible lines with the microfilm, but it really looked like we were guarding Bug more than that, and now we lined up on the arm side, so I do not think that we are being caught there, even though it was on our mind that it was a possibility that an action test could have happened there.
Yeah, there wasn't too much else to watch, so there's a chance that Hypxr was looking at it, but I think, yeah, they might have been more focused on the ambassador. So we're entering conversation with the seduction target here. We hit a white test from pretty far away, so we're at 59%, a very inelegant flirt number. And we're just gonna wait for another opportunity to go to a bookshelf, maybe. But the party is kind of dead. Like there's just not much happening right now. At least the ambassador is off leaving fingerprints. If we wait for the flirt here, I don't know if we can get it to 100, even if we hit a green. Probably no, definitely not, even if we hit a green. So, ooh, we're gonna go to the bar. That's gonna set us up to get a fingerprint, and then we do know of another fingerprint on the statue as well. So that could be the game plan. It could be finish fingerprints and then go get another microfilm.
Yeah, because I mean, so because we did that first microfilm, unfortunately though, we also have the harder microfilms altogether. Green is just usually it's more tucked away. Although right now the thing with green is that Pearls is at green right now, but there's like no cover. Green will often have a decent amount of cover, but now there's like kind of no cover on any of the shelves. So I'm curious when we pick our timing to go back there. We'll probably have to take the book out unless Sniper's angling up on the front conversation, which maybe there's a little bit. But Sniper does seem to be really keeping arms or bookshelf visitors on screen. So I'm actually worried about our idea to finish up there because there should be a little bit more scrutiny on us for having been at one of the books. Finishing up there seems like it's going to be guarded pretty heavily, and also we're just running low on time. I probably have to contact my way through here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the fingerprint that the ambassador left at a statue, it got taken by Queen. So if we want to finish with fingerprints, we're not necessarily going to be able to.
Funny moment, by the way, right there. So this is becoming more popular to cancel your action test if it's a white test and you need a green test to finish. But we sipped also to hide the timing before our request. So we interrupted a sip in order to get the second thing. Like there's zero chance that Hyper was aware of it. But oh, we're gonna take a shot on sorry for the purloin. There was sorry the would sorry have been the sender on that? I'm very curious
Um,
about it.
I'm not sure. I mean, Sari was at the bar, and you can see that she enters the conversation afterwards, but she's no, she doesn't at all. She's just not near Smallman, who's the one who takes the list, right? So
Yeah,
no,
Smallman paths near
yeah.
it is the only thing I can think. Like Smallman, like if you take like a snapshot of a moment at like exactly like 119, maybe you took a look and you saw Smallman in motion from Sorry, you know.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Hypxr, who's been playing well so far. He was behind by just a little bit, but has been playing well in a lot of the games despite that. But falling behind here is not good news for him, especially because I don't know if CRAMS was even going to be able to finish missions in this game, right? There wasn't that much time left. We would have needed microfilm or a fingerprint. But unfortunately, Hypixer had an itchy trigger finger and just took a shot on a civilian. Wasn't on top of the purloin this time. So Hypixer is now quite behind. Really wants a spy win here as Teal to stay in this in 3, 2, 1, playing it. It's going to be hard, though. It's going to be hard to get a spy win here. And if Hypixer falls behind by 4 points after this, I think it. I think it could be over. Oh God, we're just trying a bug right there at the bar, and we're not shot for it, so it might have worked.
I just kind of refuse to believe. Like I feel like C-Rams is lasers moving around, but also C-Rams is so if C-Rams knew for sure, C-Rams might have to take a shot. But if C-Rams is just highly concerned about the lean and just worried that they might phantom something, when we looked over to the right side of the venue, it didn't feel like we're actually taking a real look over there. We are seemingly zoomed in on the second pass here, but that could just be a normal zoom in. I am concerned for Hyper here, and we are also not going to get this flirt, which is a bummer because we're going to have to chase.
Yeah, it was a blatantly obvious bug, and it just looks like it was completely on screen, not just on screen, but zoomed in on with binoculars. There's a chance. I mean, we never know what the sniper's eyes are looking at. We have to just guess based on what we see on the screen. So you never know. There's a chance that C-Rams didn't see it. But my, I don't know, expert opinion is that the bug was probably seen. Probably seen. And now that I've said that, Hypixer will just like get away with a spy win or something.
Yeah, I would say that that's a good. It's probably seen, but the longer this goes on and that we don't see like a ton of focus and we see like actual active play in the rest of the map by CRAMs, that's not well. We do get brought down back down to neutral. So unless that's a very specific head game, that is of course a really good indication for us, especially that we just came from statues.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw the bug and you're
And then the
pretty sure
red.
you saw it, you don't really need to keep teal as a highlight. So you can just keep your laser like usual, just move it over, bring her down to a neutral, pretend you're lowering her because it's been a while since she's been at the bar. I don't know. It could be a mind game. It could not be. I mean, at this point, though, maybe you shot if you saw the bug because that's a contact. The flirt could be done. I guess you know that there's no fourth mission because she's never been to statues. Oh, well, she's been, but she hasn't finished them. If you saw the bug you have to shoot right now, I jinxed it. I said I was sure the bug was seen. The bug, no, it wasn't seen. Or you're waiting 10 seconds. You're waiting 10 seconds and then you're going to shoot. Nope, nope, bug wasn't seen. Hypxr gets away with it cleanly. Hypxr just needs to flirt one more time, and Hypxr is gonna get the spy win with that bug.
Yeah,
There's no chance we get shot now.
no, I don't think so. I mean, I also don't want to jinx it because it feels like here we go, 10 seconds. But you're right. I don't think a shot's gonna come off here. I'm reminded of, you remember the April Fool's Day cast from like years ago? One of the prompts was one of the casters is convinced that Teal will get shot, and I was just having flashbacks to that where it felt like, because I think Opie was doing it, where it's like, okay, this is funny because it happens to be Teal, and just remembering this, where like they are convinced Teal is getting shot no matter what happens during the rest of the game. But indeed, I agree with you. The beginning lean felt like something that CRAMs would normally catch, but you got to throw things out there, and that's how we can come back a little bit, and that is a huge win for Hyper.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the bug happened right as we were zooming into the binoculars there, and like, I guess CRAMS wasn't looking at that exact pixel of a moment. Okay, well, Hypxr picks up the spy win that he needed to stay in the set. CRAM's probably kicking himself, wondering how he missed that. So that could be good for Hypxr's mentality and bad for CRAM's here. We move on to gallery. CRAM's playing as Ponytail in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Because like normally that's a spot where we were worried, like because Smallman was maneuvering around in front of Ambassador where they're going completely hidden, which is right next to us. So oftentimes it's bad for there to be another reason why Sniper is looking more closely. Like if Hyper could know where the eyes of the sniper were, he actually would not have gone for that bug, even though it ended up working out for him because there was so much focus on Smallman. But the focus was so narrow. Contact coming off here. There's actually people that left conversation right at the same time. I'm very curious if our seduction target gets low light on that bail or not. It looks like they will not. This is going to be an interesting game because that is not a terrible contact. But there's a couple of bailers, and of course there's the front conversation circle to contend with that did not have an SDA.
Yeah, but getting the contact done this early is good. Having 46% flirt, not ideal, but the sooner we get the flirt done, the better. Oh, Irish picks up a low light now just for bouncing around a lot outside, it looks like. So our seduction target is low lit. I mean, everyone outside is low lit. If we go join, we'll be like the only non-low lit there. But we go pick up some inspects. We get a highlight for it. I don't like getting a highlight this early when you already have your contact done and nearly half your flirt. I think if you have a lot of time on gallery, you can really set yourself up to get away with a bug or maybe pick a good time to microfilm with cover or something like that. And so just picking up the highlight before you have any progress done on a hard tell just feels like a little bit of an unforced error to me. I just don't know what our game plan is going to be now.
I 100% agree with that. Like sometimes you just throw that in there just because, but a inspect visit to a early banana bread is just such a natural spy follow up. Like you banana bread early and you either seduced or not. Going and getting other credit just feels like a way of you delaying what you actually have to do in the rest of that game after the contact, which is the contact feels like sometimes if you go for an early contact, it'll feel like inspects early. And you're like, well, if I've already contacted early, I might as well inspect early. But that's not actually that's not actually what you experience as sniper. Is that you just have all these people, and maybe you pick up some highlights for people that you're suspicious of how they entered in the conversation circle, about their decision making around why their timing about the banana bread would give you some sort of suspicion around them. But it's kind of rare, and you should play it like it's like you should play it like only the lowlights matter, and no one got highlit.
Yeah, and so CRAMS is just finishing the inspects now. We're going to be a big suspect. I do see a flash from the laser. I don't know if it's on us. I don't know if there's any reason to be confident that we specifically are the spy, just because all we did was inspects. But you might think that our pathing, our behavior as we did those inspects was suspicious. So it's going to be hard for CRAMs to get missions done here. If Hypxr wins this, the scoreline will be really close to being brought back to a tie. C-Rams was playing really well the past few games, but then he missed that bug. And then this spy game, not seeing anything quite as innovative as the book rip that he did on Modern earlier. We're just taking out this book. I think if we can get the flirt done, you might be able to go put it back in the wrong bookshelf later, but very unlikely to work as a highlight for statues.
We're probably just going to dump this book. We are, and it's not a particularly, like you're saying, innovative position. It's just it's not a terrible decision, to be totally honest. Like, given the spot we put ourselves in, I don't mind just doing that. It's the book. We are just depending on Sniper forgetting about that book. But we had 17 seconds left. We had the book in hand. There wasn't really anything to do at that point if we were going to leave with book to finish Seduce. So yeah, working backwards from that, the banana bread was interesting. It we didn't play off the strengths of it as much as we might have been able to, but still, all that said, Hyper did have some sort of insight into us being the spy and watched us a little bit more closely for that microfilm. So whatever hooks he had worked.
Yeah, there was a safety off on us for finishing the inspects already. So, okay, Hypxr playing as Leopard now in 3, 2, 1, playing it. If Hypxr can get another spy win here, the set will go back to being tied, and Hypxr would have the momentum at that point. We'll see if Hypxr can get it done. It's hard to get a spy win past C-Rams, but you just did it on Modern. You might be able to do it again. I don't think we're in range for a bug here. Even as the ambassador walks behind us, I think a bug would have been way too visible, especially with the, leopard-like texture of our arms there. We are going to pick up the briefcase. Are we trying to get this without the sniper seeing it? Yes, we pick it up and we just put it down in conversation, and we're never seen walking away with it at all. Is there any chance that C-Rams saw that, or was C-Rams just zoomed in at the back of the venue and just didn't notice it?
It's a great question because we talked with the briefcase. Oh, there's flashing though. That flashing might be might be yes, it's true. The flashing might be memorization of the fingerprint on which statue of the two, because gallery actually is a little bit tricky to remember which fingerprint they're on, because if you're thinking about inspects for everybody else, you just care about if they go to the front set of the back set. So that until proven otherwise, I'm considering that a fingerprint memorization. But we talked with the briefcase. Yes, that's a fingerprint memorization because we're remembering they have a fingerprint. We talked with the briefcase, which is a hardtail. And so the fact that we did that and weren't noticed, it kind of blended us in with the rest of that conversation circle and let us just do the put down. So again, yeah, I think that's completely clean, and it was a really clever thing. We are going to be picking up this. Is there going to be a flash on us? No.
Because it's a difficult fingerprint. But yeah, I mean, the briefcase stuff was basically off screen. The binoculars were zoomed in the whole time. You could see Leopard's head, bobbing in and out a little bit, but that's why I'm not sure if C-Rams saw it. But we have the fingerprints done now. Potentially just have them done clean without even being credited, because we had a difficult and we had a briefcase that was maybe off screen. So Hypxr could be in a really good place here. Oh, we're not flirting. Oh, the timer's not done because we didn't actually walk that far away from him. So we're just going outside. We're setting ourselves up to potentially get a contact. Sick is going to take the only spot in the combo, though. We can't get in if we don't go. Oh, he didn't. He went to the window. Okay, so we could just get the flirt with him like this just by walking over. It does look a little suspicious, but we might not be a huge enough suspect for C-Rams to care. Oh god, the laser just moving down though right as we enter the convo. It looks like we're being watched here. Is the sniper laser just getting ready to shoot us on a contact? There's no way. There's no way. The contact comes off, just taking lowlights at the rest of the party. We're not shot yet for it. If we got away with the fingerprints clean, we might be able to win this, even though we're a highlight. Are we just going to finish with inspects? If we want to, Kane is blocking one of them. No, we're going to the back convo. How are we going to finish here?
Right, we need to not talk. Oh, okay. So one of the problems is for C-Rams, a plain twin has inspects and fingerprints. They visited inspects twice, but I don't think they visited different sets. So plain twin is a juicy suspect in there. They might have also actually picked up a second fingerprint in there. There seems to be a couple people that C-Rams is worried about. and that they're going to be torn between them. I do think that if we go to the statues, we probably, or we are gonna purloin instead, and it actually is in the midst of a bunch of interesting suspects. I don't know if Plane was in there. Plane is not bugging at the end here. We're gonna be having a huge zoom in. There it is. We're gonna be shooting in between Red's legs. At first, I thought that Red was gonna be the one getting shot. We shoot in between Red's legs, and we do get shot. I actually don't hate that. I do think that if we we grabbed the statues, it felt like we were going to get shot. So the purloin, even though it felt riskier, was probably the higher percentage play.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I would like to know how much CRAMS was on top of the fingerprints, but I suspect that it might just have been behaviorally Leopard was just walking around a lot and looking very spy-like at the end, because it definitely looked like CRAMS was watching us very closely there, and so we just weren't going to be able to get away with anything. But still, good attempt from Hypxr, but that means CRAMS maintains the lead going into Courtyard, a venue where you might expect him to maintain that lead. CRAMS is going to be spying first, though, as Boots in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And we'll like this is I'm very curious how they play this one because this Courtyard has a bunch more straightforwardy kind of gambity ones. This also though was some of the most crazy games that we had in the C-Rams Bryce set were from some of these weird scenarios on Courtyard in particular. So I'm very curious. What is up with? Okay, I swear there weren't as many AI that stood in the middle of conversation circles as I've seen recently. Because that actually produced a shot. I don't know if it was in the Bryce C Ram set, but there was another recent set where there was
Yeah.
someone who was in the direct middle of a conversation circle. Then there was a purloin after, and then the person who was standing in the direct middle of a conversation circle got shot later. It just feels like it's happening more. But like the game hasn't been patched famously in a way that would make that more or less likely. I just feel like it's happened more.
Yeah, now it is worth noting that the last time these two played each other, Hypxr did actually manage to sweep Courtyard because C-Rams shot a civilian. So it's not necessarily for sure that C-Rams will, get a sniper win here. But we're still just watching C-Ram's spy game first. And all he has done is a bunch of flirting. I mean, the conversation circles are so full. I would love to do a banana bread right now. Problem is, we're not with the double agent. We're just waiting probably to get our flirt done. And at this point, the double agent is left. He's gone back to another really full conversation. So CRAMs may be tempted to just walk away as soon as this flirt is done and try to get the contact. It's not lining up anymore.
Bug.
Oh God, we got a bug on the ambassador as he walked past us here. Wow.
There was like it was a crazy opportunity too because the ambassador walked through conversation circles, so it guarded the front of our bug animation, which was the more dangerous one for us in that position, anyways. So we'll see right now because Hyper might be just upset that the ambassador took that path because it gave a lot of different people bug opportunities. So it's possible there's a shot there, even though it was pretty well covered. By Ambassador themselves. Timing on the banana bread's gonna be pretty quick here. So if the shot's gonna come off, it is of course gonna happen, and it does not feel like we are lining up. That is a well played game by C Rams.
Wow, yeah, CRAMs got given a really good bug opportunity by the ambassador there. I just wasn't even expecting him. I mean, he just walked right through the middle of the conversation. Boots's arm going out for the bug is definitely visible if you're looking for it, but if you're not watching it super, super carefully, it could just kind of look like, she was in the middle of talking and her arm is just kind of coming back. It's like it looks sort of natural. And like you said, there were just so many people who could have been doing a bug at that point because of the ambassador's path that, wow, I don't blame Hypixer for not seeing it, but CRAMs just capitalized on it, went and got the inspects, took the contact, and if the bug isn't seen, you're not going to be shot. So, wow, CRAM's up 7-4 now. CRAM's going to be sniping in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. We have Hypixer on general, but if CRAMs can get the sniper win here, it'll be 8-4, and you only need 10
Oh
points
no!
to win.
Oh,
Oh,
it's over. It's such a bad bug.
oh God.
Unfortunately, it yeah, that's just like it. So it was like a late chaos bug I'm trying to see it more from side. Like it's like the worst way to use, unfortunately, General's bug in particular, because General has an amazing walk through bug, but if you turn around and show your hand, that's like the one time you'd see that bug. If we had walked straight and just curled around Ambassador and let our body turn against the laser, it would have been maybe credited, but it would not have been as visible, which is again strange and counterintuitive. But yeah, that's just an unfortunate bounce.
Yeah, well, there it is. CRAM's at 8 points. CRAM's just needs two more to take the set. CRAM's spying now, playing as Bling Twin in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We are an aquarium, so if there's any venue where Hypxr could start mounting a comeback, I say start mounting a comeback. Hypxr already started mounting comebacks multiple times in this set, but just was never able to quite actually bring it back. So CRAM's kind of playing with house money here. Like you said, when you have this much of a lead, you can go for more risky, more bold spy plays that you might not normally have the confidence for. And wow, we just wait, we
It doesn't
failed.
take
We
though. Oh
failed.
my
Oh my
god.
God. We tried to bug behind the shark and I thought it was such a perfect path, such perfect timing. And then I looked at the mission list and there was no bug and I was like, how? But it didn't take.
That's like one of the only times in which the advice could be you literally can stop walking and then start again, which normally looks completely like awful, and it's probably better for you to continue your path and not get the bug credit than it is to stutter step. But behind Shark, it just doesn't matter. You can just go ahead and get credit there. But of course, C-Rams must have thought we were going to be in range at the end of that, but just didn't quite bend our path far enough. We are going to grab this briefcase now, though, and then have a little bit of a path outside of it, but it's probably all good. So the good news is, except for the fact that we could be aware that we were behind Shark and near Ambassador, it does not seem like that was seen, but it's just such a bummer for C-Rams not to get that bug credit.
Yeah, now if Hypixer has credited you for having bug credit, then it might not be bad if you go near the ambassador again later. I don't know, maybe that's just coping. If you go near the ambassador again later, maybe it just increases your suspicion. But it probably feels bad for C-Rams. He could be feeling slightly tilted that it didn't work, but he just needs to look at the scoreline and remember that he's way ahead. So it's not the end of the world.
And the end of red.
Contact coming off now. Not too many lowlights available. There's a lot of people wiggling around near conversations, but Hypixer is just not confident enough about taking them. And so Pearls, who kind of left convo during the BB, picks up a highlight for going to statues, actually. Weird
Flash
zoom
near
in
feet.
of, yeah, near some people's feet. I don't know who. I don't even know why I would speculate. A weird zoom in on a painting now. Hypixer, you better be really confident on who the spy is if you're zooming in on paintings. I'm going to put my faith in Hypixer here and say that Hypixer probably heavily suspects Twin correctly. Because otherwise, I don't know why you're zooming in on paintings. I don't know why you're looking at a black spot on the floor outside the venue right now. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it is. It. I mean, it's good right now for Hyper to be taking their time, right? Because they might as well. There's. It's funny because I'm watching the shark kind of like open its mouth and devour sea rams, which is probably what's going to happen. Honestly, sea ram or Hyper needs to be worried about a shark walk though at this point, because that's the one way in which Hyper could
Oh.
lose. Wait, what?
Yeah, Hypixer wasn't on top of it. I don't know what Hypixer was doing with his laser, zooming in on a painting to let us know that he was very confident that the spy is Pearls. And she's the one who sort of maybe split out of the BB and picked up the highlight for the inspects earlier I mentioned. So bad call from Hypixer, unfortunately.
What's funny is I do like this signal though, because like I have not really looked at the paintings on the aquarium. We zoomed in on a painting of somebody in a white dress. I was like, what does that painting mean? Why we're zooming in on it? There is a white dress. There's a red dress. There's not that many. There's an orange dress. There's like you can signal a little bit if you're sure and you actually memorize where the paintings are. I think you're just zooming in for fun, but that is funny that it was on a woman in a white dress, and that should have been That should have been the foreshadowing I needed. That white dress was next to us when we were doing the flashing, so we were right that it was near us, and it just seemed like, of course, it would have to be us in order for it to be that person. But yeah, this part of the set is not going Hypixr's way for sure, which is funny because it's been obviously extremely close through all the other games that they've played.
Yeah, Hypxr just felt like he was really close to bringing it back the whole time, but then C-Rams has just gotten away with it. So C-Rams just needs one more win to take the set here. It's Hypxr spying as Boots in 3, 2, 1, playing it right near the Ambassador. Take control immediately, but it's not quick enough to go for a bug, but we go for it anyway. Doesn't take, but there's a whole mess of people walking around there, some of them covered by the shark, some of them not. I don't know if C-Rams saw that bug, but it didn't take either way. Maybe we'll get some flashes. Is there a painting on this venue that looks like Boots?
Good question. Of all the people, like, because there's not anybody in Boots, because these are like pixelated versions, like Art Nouveau looking kind of like paintings. I guess the painting on the left hand side has a similar-ish kind of like dress cut. I know it's more of a red dress, but she's got a brown red dress, and it's also like it's got the same kind of cut around the chest a little bit. It's a little bit softer. I don't know that I'm talking about this when there's nothing else going in the game, so I'm going to keep talking about how much. Yeah, I think flashing on that painting would be the correct call of all the paintings in here.
I don't know. You might be right. Maybe we flashed on the painting of the woman in the white dress because we were suspecting pearls. At this point, I can't decipher the flashing language of these two players. The funny thing is, though, Hypixr was doing those flashes while he's very behind. So it might have been a little bit of a questionable decision, but at least he's having fun with it. But yeah, it's surprising to see Hypixr this far behind because, like we were saying, these players have a very good record of trading very evenly matched games against each other. Remember they had like a 19-19 overtime before this. Oh God, we're reading a book behind the shark. Is Hypixr giving up? What are you doing? I think Hypixr is giving up at this point. I said he was having fun continuing doing all those flashes, but maybe Hypixr just wants out. I'm a little bit surprised because do you really not have faith that you can get some points back here? Sorry, are we seeing what I'm seeing? Is there
Yeah.
a glitch?
There used if we didn't have so long between patches, there was a legit time where you could fake a glitch. Just like an unknown, and pretend like there was just like an unknown glitch that prevented you from doing something. And sometimes players would get confused and low light that player just because it's not doing on. But there's like I'm pretty sure C-Rams would know there's no known glitch for this activity.
Okay.
So interesting choice there. I'm trying to see if it was just like Hyper was just like I have been playing this person for like 3 hours or something like that at this point now. Yeah, I think like did we just like accidentally stop short? We were so in the middle of in nowhere when we stopped though. Honestly, I think it's just like a salute to C-Rams after playing so many games because again they had just played 12 games because 12 games guaranteed in Winter Cup. They played the 40 games before then. How many games are in this one? 14. So after 60 something games, that's just like I'm done. Congrats to you. Great set.
Okay, well, C-Rams takes it, which, maybe that's what you'd expect just because C-Rams was the higher seed. He was near the top of gold and Hypixr was in bronze. But Hypixr just dominated bronze, which means Hypixr will be moving up to silver either way. These are two really strong players, really, really evenly matched. So it's just surprising to see C-Rams come away with the lead there. But C-Rams, in addition to just holding down his dominant sniper, also pulled off some really good spy wins. He did still miss that one bug on Modern. That was still so surprising to me. It made it seem like Hypixr could come back. But that means that next week we're going to be seeing the finals between Beanie and C-Rams.
Yeah, well, congrats to all the players in this. Honestly, like to some extent, they may be glad to be done with at least competitive Spy Party in the SCL part. Are all these players in Winter Cup? They might all be in Winter Cup. I know that at least Hypxr and C-Rams are in Winter Cup because they're in the same group. I believe Beanie is also in Winter Cup. I feel like Gent would be as well. So I was gonna say well-deserved rest for these players from competitive Spy Party, but I think they're all in Winter Cup. So no rest for the players that are still in Winter Cup. But then, yeah, this is a really interesting setup then for the finals. Do you even want to take a stab at who you think between C-Rams and oh God, who beat Gentleman?
C-Rams and Beanie, yeah.
Beanie. I just
and remember we said earlier that C-Rams is the only person that Beanie ever lost to in the regular season. But I don't know, Beanie was looking really strong earlier. C-Ram Sniper is very strong, but Beanie has the better spy win rate. So, and Beanie has also just been playing for a lot longer, I think. So, I think it will be close next week, but if Beanie can pull out some more innovative plays, I don't know, Beanie could get the win. It's really hard to say. It's hard to say. And so then tomorrow we're seeing the semifinals of the Masters Championship. So that's a very similar tournament to the one that you're seeing on screen right now, but it's for the players who were in Platinum and Diamond. So tomorrow we're seeing Rov versus Opie Rights, same channel, same time. Other than that, this has been SpyParty. If you are interested, you can get the game at www.spyparty.com or on Steam. Of course, if you get it from the website, the developer gets a higher cut of the cost. So we tend to recommend that if possible. But if you want the convenience of Steam, it is there. If you are interested in competitive SpyParty, the Winter Cup is just starting up now as the SCL comes to a close. So there will be a bunch of Winter Cup matches. There's also Winter Cup Penguin Pool, which is a sort of more casual side tournament. So if you're new to SpyParty, but you want to try competitive, you can join the Discord. That's discord.gg/SpyParty. And just feel free to ask. People will be very helpful at giving you the info that you need. So tomorrow's cast starts the same time as this one. So this one started about 2 hours ago. So you can do the math yourself. Tomorrow, aka in about 22 hours from now. I never know how to convert things in time zones, so I prefer just doing it that way.
Right,
anything else before we close out?
Four C-Rams versus Bryce's set from now, I think. So there's like 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
So just go watch. If you need to time it out, go watch that replay 4 times, and then it should be time for the next Pin-Based Spy Party. I do want to echo, absolutely join Penguin Pool for anybody that hears this, because also Penguin Pool doesn't have a strict sign up timeline. So you can join later, you can join now. It's always the right time to sign up for it, and it's a great, fun time, and it's a great low-stakes way to jump into the scene without feeling all the pressure around it. So highly, highly echo that, because it is fabulous.
And with all that said, I as the host, thank you for everyone for joining. Thank you for casters for casting it, even though unfortunately it wasn't a 5-hour cast this time. And as mentioned before, we shall see you next time. But until then, fare thee well.